welcome back to my show. In today's episode, I have a really special guest. I have looked up to her since the time I started watching The Voice. She is none other than Wendy Moten, and she was on Team Blake. And Team Blake, as in Blake Shelton, who is the goat of The Voice. Anyways, hi Wendy, how are you today?
Hello, Hanika. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for taking all the time to be on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Please introduce yourself and maybe sing a few lines from your latest song.
A few lines of my latest song. I got a song out right now called Don't Give Up. Call on me when you need a friend. I'll come running, yeah, through the thick and thin. And no matter what the world may say, no, you can't give up. No, you can't give up, no way. That's what I'm living right now.
That's beautiful. So anyone out there loves this kind of music or wants to try some kind of new music and looking for new artists to listen to, this is a song to listen to. And if you do like that, then keep listening to her music. It's awesome. On to my next question for you. Who inspired you to get into music, pursue your singing career and go into this kind of industry?
Well, I would have to say that music found me at a very young age, at like 8 years old. My dad was a pastor at a church, and he had 6 kids, and we all went to church 3 to 4 days a week. So you started out in the church choir, and it was not up for negotiation. You're going to be at church all those days of the week. And so that's where I learned my first ear training, where I could hear notes and chords. And then that's when I had my first audience at church. So even if you forgot your words or you screwed up, they were still supporting you and helping you get back up. So my foundation started at church, and that's when I started to sing. And then through the years, I worked on my craft and perfected it to this time.
That's awesome. I think beginning from a young age, or even just starting wherever, be that a worship spot, or in an actual, maybe you started a singing foundation workshop or something. I mean, church choir, it's like a huge base or a huge hub where you can learn music. I mean, church choir is just special in its own way. You have gospel choir, you have young children choir, you have a lot of choirs. I mean, even now school choir as well. It kind of brings in elements of church choir, maybe a little bit of harmony building. All of that you kind of learn in church. Even for people who do not go to church, I think those kind of elements just automatically come into your singing at some point, especially if you're taking some kind of formal training, be it in a college or conservatory, things like that.
Yes. Having a foundation, it gives you a way to work on your craft as you get older and you grow. And that's in anything. If you have a good foundation, and some people don't get it till later on in life, but it's never too late to build on it.
Absolutely, yeah. How do you produce your songs? I know you have a bunch of songs on your repertoire. So how do you produce this song and get that that feel or that sound that you really want?
Well, I've been fortunate to work with a lot of some of the most iconic artists in music history. So I learned from them, from Julio Iglesias to Michael McDonald. And these are all classic guys, but they're the ones that help build the music foundation. And they're known as some of the greatest artists of music history. So I've been fortunate to work with some of the greatest artists in music history. And the goal has always been to learn as I go. So I can just pick and choose and add to my own personal arsenal. And as I'm working on my craft, I'm able to pull from different experiences and, figure out who I am. Some people know when they're younger, teenagers, preteens. I didn't find out till later on, in my 30s and 40s, what kind of singer I really am, what type of artist, what type of songs, and what is the message that I want to give to people. My purpose. It came to me later in life. Some people know early.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think, as I said earlier, I think it's just a matter of like figuring out. As long as you figure out what you want to do, I mean, even if you don't, there's no pressure. Like, you could like be like maybe a 17-year-old or a 7-year-old even, and be
Yeah.
like, I want to start singing. There's like no like age. Like, you can't be like, even a 100-year-old man could be like, I want to sing today, without knowing
Yeah.
anything about it. I mean, it's like anything anyone can do. I mean, not just singing. You could be like about painting or playing the piano. It could be anything. You could just learn it.
Writing a
What?
book. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can do anything in any age. I mean, sure, if you're a baby, maybe 2 years old, and you are saying, I want to write a book. Okay, yeah, that's something you'd be like, okay, maybe not now, but maybe later. It's like a yet kind of thing. You can't do this yet. It's not like you can never do it, but you can do it later on. But yeah, I like how you said, like, your songs are produced with the help of people you're fortunate to work with, like, big stars like Mr. McDonald, like people like that. So like it must have been a great opportunity for you to like grow as an artist, as well as like get the experience working alongside them. On to my next question. I've heard that you got a chance to perform for Bill Clinton. So how was that experience?
Well, I've always wanted to perform for a United States president in a small environment, and it happened. And he loved what I did, and he came and gave me the hug and the smile, and all these accolades. And mind you, I've been in front of other presidents and prime ministers of countries, different countries. So finally, I get a chance to meet a United States president. So that's my country. So it's like a big deal. And I was just honored, and it was in a small space. And so, you get real eye contact and a real emotion. And so I was thankful for that moment.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's something like I'm pretty sure like every artist wants to go big, dreams of. I mean, like, maybe not the president, but maybe like, like, because like I mean, like, the president is kind of like the god of the country, kind of like the top supreme, like, Liberty Tower kind of thing,
Yeah.
like it's kind of like you're like the subjects and he's the like boss king or something. Which I guess is kind of true. I mean, like, we are the subjects, maybe not directly because we do not really know him that well, apart from maybe TV interviews or the White House things that go
Yeah,
on.
I know him from the television only. It's like I've never thought that I would see him. I
I
mean,
mean, none of us are like, cousins and things like that. We're not always with him. I mean, like, it's like, like you have the opportunity. It's like a one-time thing. It's not like, unless of course you're on like a daily talk-to-talk basis where you have the number and like WhatsApping or messaging them and things like that. That's a different thing. I mean,
right. That's having
uh,
a friendship, a relationship. That's a friendship. I get that.
absolutely. I mean, like, just the fact that you got to perform in front of Bill Clinton, who was the president at that time, is like shows like how the connection between an artist and a president can like actually happen.
Yes. Yes.
Um, so your experience on The Voice, that's also another thing. So how was it being on Blake Shelton's team?
Well, because I had a career already in the 90s doing the Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, Mariah Carey era, that was my era. I was EMI's uh, artist, to fit that mold. And, I never thought that I would have to enter a show like The Voice because I've been a professional for 35 years. But COVID shut everything down, and then I had to figure out how I was going to get back out there as a recording artist. And I knew I needed television because, I had been a background singer for the last 25 years. How was I going to realistically get back out there as a solo artist? So I knew I need TV, and I said, what can I stomach? And I was like, The Voice. At least they take singers seriously, and I'll be able to stay in the music business if I do this well. And so when I got to the show, my nightmare was nobody turning around. That was not my nightmare. And so I was like, well, the goal has to be, I am going to do my ultimate best So if it doesn't work out for me, then it won't be because I didn't give 150%. It'll be there was other people involved and they had a whole different show they wanted to create. So when Blake chose me or blocked John Legend, it kind of worked for me because I've been living in Nashville, Tennessee for the last 26 years, and I've been doing a lot of stuff in country music and a part of the country music community. So being with Blake just enhanced that a lot. So that's why I stay with Blake, because I live here in Nashville. I'm involved in the country music community, and I just felt like it would just enhance that even more that I've been building. So being with Blake was he was very supportive. He knew I had a lot of experience, and he wasn't trying to change me or try to do anything that would stop me from excelling in any kind of way. If he had something to say, he would say it. If he didn't, he'd be like, I don't know. And he would just leave me alone because he knew I had been in it a long time. But his support was, amazing. And he's exactly what you see on TV. He is a really kind guy, a brilliant artist and singer. And he knows music.
I think that's like really important. I mean, like not everyone has the opportunity to be on The Voice or even get children, but I think just the very fact that you have someone who supports you doesn't quite change your way of like living or doing your things. Like saying maybe have like a particular style, maybe they want to add to it, but they may not want to change it. Like they won't be like, oh, so you sing country now. Let's say maybe like you chose John Legend,
Yeah.
right? Even if you would have chosen him, I'm sure you could not have been like, okay, so you're a country artist now. Let's change you into R&B, or let's change you into pop music now. They would probably add something to your music, like maybe make you do something like country R&B, or maybe try something new and see what you like.
I think John Legend would have been awesome because he's pretty eclectic himself. So I think that he would have been great with me trying different genres. He would have been into that. But I knew what I had been building in Nashville, and I just wanted to continue to build on that.
Especially because you have the experience. So trying something new might have been a risk. Considering that you were runner-up on the show, which means that it was only possible because you believed in yourself. Blake Shelton believed in you, and you chose the right path. Maybe John Legend may have gotten you to the semifinals, but then it would have been up to you and him, mainly you since you're the contestant, on how you performed with the songs he helped you choose.
Right.
Because in the end, it's also about not just song choice, but also audience votes and how much they feel like the song suits you.
Yes.
There's also kind of a more it's like the song that chooses you rather than you choosing the song.
Yes.
I don't know where I heard this, but I've heard this from various places. So I thought I'd put this in here and talk about that. I mean, in the end of the day, it's more about enjoying what you're doing rather than winning in particular.
Oh, absolutely. The goal was to enjoy the journey because I'm from a generation where you don't talk about yourself at all and you don't boast. So the new generation is you share everything. So I had to psychologically psych myself out that I have to share a little more because that's the universe we live in right now. And when you're on a competition show, a competitive show, you got to talk about, I'm going to win. I'm going to do this thing, and that's so now how I grew up, but hey, I realized I was very competitive and I had a good time being competitive.
I mean, that's good. I mean, as long as you're competitive, but in a healthy way where you're not trying to push people down, make sure they get hurt or something like that. Making sure that they are scared of you, but not to the point where they quit because you want to kind of still have the friendly relationship with all the other contestants. Be like, hey, you can do this. While in the back of your head, maybe I'm gonna win this thing. You can be doing whatever you want in your head as long as outward you're being nice and telling them that
I'm a nice person, and I know you weren't just talking about me, but in general, but I'm a nice person, and I knew I had a whole lot of experience, and I was there to help, or if someone had a question or they needed some advice, I wanted to be that for them, because I did know I have like 30 years on them or 25 years on them. So if there's something I can make them feel better about, then I'm going to say something.
Absolutely, I think like just supporting, creating like a family, because at the end, even the TV show itself, like people in it, the judges, the sound guys, and like the contestants, it's like a whole big family. One of them gets eliminated, like there's like a whole like sad environment. But like on TV they do not show it. I mean, behind the scenes, only you and people on the show know what happens, right? They probably would be sad. But I've heard that like when they get eliminated, they have to leave almost immediately, like pack stuff up, and then almost immediately
Yeah,
leave.
it is, and it's but everybody there is there to support each other. They have a team of people that they care about how you feel while you're in the show, when you have to be sent home. So, and they genuinely have staff that that's what they want to do. They know how tough this is. They know psychologically sometimes people put everything in there. They put everything in. So they make sure that your mental state and that you have support. And nobody makes fun of anyone. Nobody batters anyone. Nobody bullies anyone. And they're there, especially the staff is there to support, to show sympathy, empathy, and some love. So that's one of the great things I loved about the whole organization, was that
I
they
think it's
truly
like
care.
yeah, I think it's really important for that to like not like making fun. Because I mean, like at the end of the day, no matter how competitive a person is, a contestant is, it still you kind of need to show that support and not be like, ah, you got eliminated and things like that. I think it's like an important part of like the whole family like situation. Like some of the contestants take a hard journey to get there. Some of them have a limited, maybe their family has connections that help them get on, or maybe you never know the situation of others, but like some of them actually have to go through a huge obstacle just to get there. And I think in that sense the eliminations hurt more some people than others. Like for some people they have other things going on, so they kind of like brush it off and be like, okay, we have more stuff going on for us. But at the same time, I think like as you said, like the staff being supportive and everything, it's just again, as I said earlier, just big family. They all support each other. Maybe they might have like few banters here and there, but like it's all in like fun and games.
Yeah, I mean the my season, everybody supported each other. I mean it. You know, I didn't feel like there was one bad apple or somebody that was problematic. It was really love and support for each other.
Okay, so my last and final question for you is, if you had to pick a theme song for yourself, what would it be?
A theme song,
Yeah.
like for instance, like what kind of theme?
So basically, for example, like let's say like you're a sweet and playful person. So like choose a theme song that resonates with your personality.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me.
Yeah, I love that theme song. Do not know what that is of, but like like love the way you sang it.
That's the only one I can think of at the moment.
Yeah, thank you so much for being on the show with me today. I loved the way you answered every single question, and how you talked about the Voice family and your whole experience with Bill Clinton and Blake Shelton and John Legend a little bit.
And Ariana Grande. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, we forgot
And
about
Kelly.
her. How
Oh
could
my
we?
Ariana, that was like amazing to me, and she was amazing, and she's like one of the greatest vocalists of all time, and so is Kelly. So it was just great
I had
being
a
on.
feeling I was missing something. I was like, I'm talking about the voice. I feel like I'm forgetting about something major right now.
No, that's it. It was a great experience. My goal was to not only shed a light on, trying to prolong my career, but encourage because you're a lot much younger, but encourage people my age and older that we have value, and that we can still go after those things that give us joy and passion. And so that was one of the main reasons I went on there too. Was and a lot of people wrote me and they were like, you mean, I picked up my hobby again, or I forgot that I love doing this, and so I went on. That was another reason why I went on there, to encourage other people.
I think like again, like spreading a message through TV is actually the best way possible, especially when you're like on the show for longer. Don't get you have like a longer impact and long sustainability on the person.
Yes.
So yeah, once again, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah.
I had a great time chatting with you, and I wish you best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you. I wish you the best of luck too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Everyone, that's the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed, learned something new, and be sure to check out Wendy's newest music coming soon, as well as her things that she does online on Instagram. I'll put up like her website in the show notes so you can have access to her Twitter, Instagram, and all of that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you all next week then. Bye, guys.